Hello everybody, my name is Amy Burciaga and I am a student here at Bellevue University. I am currently studying supply chain, logistics, and transportation. Today I would like to talk about a topic which was the ultimate reason why I decided to pick this specific major. That topic is food insecurity. I'm going to talk about the causes that led us to food insecurity as well as its inevitable consequences. For many of us, food is life. Food is energy. It is something that we would look forward to after a long day at work, or at least for myself it is. Unfortunately, because of food insecurity, we have seen many issues that have trickled down, and this is something that we will probably see throughout the rest of the 20s. To start off, I would like to talk a little bit more about an article on 2020 called Implications on Food Security and Supply Chain by Salik, Majid, and Suleri. This article actually speaks about the issues we ran regarding harvesting and distribution, as well as why we actually had the rise in the cost of goods and the rise in the cost of transportation. This is a very good article when it comes to explaining the actual costs, which is two of them. The biggest one being the COVID pandemic, and the second one being food security and safety. With that being said, I would like to talk about now the effects that it had because of the COVID pandemic and food safety. With that being said, one of the biggest factors that was affected was the market for baby formula. Many of us not so long ago ran into the issue of having problems feeding our babies the adequate formula they needed because we had a shortage in baby formula. In the article on June 2022 by Newberg, Berg and Hall, titled Infant Formula Shortage Highlights WIC's Critical Role Feeding Babies, actually talks about WIC having to go into a bidding war with many other sources and companies for the available food formula that they had on the market. They actually gave priority to low-income families so that they might feed their babies first, and even gave them the option of buying off brands or similar products just to keep their babies fed. Unfortunately, this was not the only issue. We saw many issues throughout the supermarkets. Many of our items were out of stocks, shortages. We didn't see them coming into months and months out. And I can personally testify for that, as I was there. I actually been working throughout the supply chain for a couple of years now. And in the first place I worked, I saw the toilet paper shortage. We saw many people doing the typical panic buying, and where pretty much you buy many items because you're scared that they're gonna run out. However, that leaves others with the opportunity to have nothing. And that is one of the biggest issues we ran into as well. With that being said, I would like to go now into a little bit more of the article on June 2022 by Suleri called Money Can Never Be a Substitute for Food. And this is actually a very good article because of the fact that it speaks about that no matter how many stimulus checks people had coming in, how much credit they had going into their taxes at the end of the year, money cannot be a substitute for food. Because yes, you can have all the money needed, but if there's no food for you to buy, that money is worthless. So with that being said, food insecurity was one of the biggest issues we have had and probably will have throughout our 20s, mostly caused by food safety in the manufacturers, as well as the COVID pandemic. We saw babies, adults, kids, anybody that needs food, we saw them run into these issues of being able to feed themselves, which is actually a really tragic subject if you think about it. With that being said, I hope that this is something that you won't forget and that this is something that we can act on quickly. I appreciate your time. Have a great night.